Now, when I first played Duel Links many years ago, I liked the simplicity of the game. Not really a lot to do, just, three different zones in the card and pass your turn, that kind of stuff. They're really simple, really, really interesting. And then it got later on there when they started putting GX in the game. I think I quit before GX, but the game took a turn for the worse. And I noticed what Konami was doing with the whole limited time events, the fear of missing out events. I stopped playing the game because I knew what they were doing. Then I see Master Duel. Not to say that they won't do this kind of stuff there, but I was wary of what Konami might do in the future of this game. Get people hooked for free. You put on little events, dangle a reward in front of them, and then maybe, just maybe, do the FOMO events, the fear of missing out. But I'll cut the game off when I feel like it. I play every now and then for the daily gem or whatever, and I move on, just like I did with OPTC. I play for the gem and I move on. But in that game, it's a lot more stressful if you don't keep up, which I don't want with this game. I like my life controlled. So that's why I started to play with Eldlich. There were a lot of choices in the particulars of this game. You could play with you could play with Dark Lords, Time Lords. Yeah, Zodiac's Virtual. I could play with a whole bunch of different deck types. And decided to go with Eldlich. When I first got the game, I deleted it, I uninstalled it, because I didn't like any of the decks. I didn't like any of them. I didn't see potential in any of the decks to really counter what people were doing in the game. I played for a little bit in the beginning, of course, like everybody else, and I got whooped by this combo, that combo, really, really long combos. Like sacking, tributing, using spells and traps and whatever, and like mixing up their XYZ's rituals. I was like, this is too damn much. Like, this is my brain from like 2003 or so, like when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh back then with the cards and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's way too much. I heard about the pendulums. I had no idea what pendulum was. I had no idea what. I knew of them, but I didn't know what the mechanics were. Now I do, obviously, because I'm pretty good at the game now. So the thing was, I wanted a deck structure around simplicity, yet at the same time deal with the bullshit of the other cards in the game. I didn't have to beat them all. I wanted a deck to control how long turns were. That was the main thing. I didn't want to fucking wait 15 fucking minutes to turn, because that was an issue. That was a real issue when I did my deck under control. Even though I had Eldlich at the time, like a few weeks ago, I didn't structure it in a way to cut down on the bullshit per turns. It just didn't happen that way. I wanted the game to feel more closer to chess than watching an anime and then now it's my turn and it's a simple commercial break. Their turns were way too long. So I made a deck to cut down on the time, like I said. So now my deck is structured more or less like the top tiers, more or less. I don't use Imperial Order. I use a single Max C, and that was a hard decision to make that Max C. It was a hard decision. But I think I would take that back if I could, but, I have another UR in mind that will work better with this deck to kill, to do the first turn kills faster. In fact, like Max C doesn't really do anything for me for this deck. I have 7 wins in a row currently. I'm in Platinum right now, and I've not used Max C at all to its fullest at all. I use Ash Blossom to cut down on their bullshit. The reason I made this deck, like I said, was to cut down on the bullshit. You want to get a card and then put it in the graveyard and then put another thing in the graveyard and then back to your deck, back to your head and all the shit there? No, Ash Blossom, bitch. So yes, Ash Blossom is part of the thing. And I believe she's a zombie too. So that's also why she's in the deck. I use Spear Reaper because it's also a zombie and also an old school card and also very annoying to get around if you don't have the right things about it. I'll make you waste something to get rid of Spear Reaper. Even though technically Spear Reaper is very easy to get rid of. So I used Eldlich, like I said, to control the stuff. But a lot of people online, for some reason, have an issue with Eldlich. Because it's too simple. Do you want to be able to play the game or not? I think it's far more annoying that there's decks out there that just that have like a certain field spell card, Numeron I believe it's called, that allows someone to get like 4 Xyz monsters on the field for free and then power up to the moon to one-hit kill you instantly. Isn't that more annoying than fighting like a regular monster card, zombie card like this? Eldlich is a zombie. That's the main thing. His support cards are zombies. And in case you know what zombies are, look at The Walking Dead. Zombies are called walkers in that show. Zombies are Resident Evil. They get killed or whatever, they get destroyed and they come back. That's what zombies are. I had a zombie deck back in the day as well. So I wanted to make a themed deck around zombies, and Eldlich happens to be one of the better ones. I think I had one around Dark Rule Hades back in the day, but that's another story. I think it was a Fiend or whatever, but it was more or less around that particular thing. So I wanted a zombie deck, and also this deck reminds me of The Mandalorian. You got one main guy who's all armored up from head to toe, and he has his minion protectors to help him out there. His little Grogu's, Habanero and the horse or whatever. His little Grogu's protecting him. I'll save you, Daddy. They get killed. They use their stuff to help out Big Daddy to come on the field for free and take care of the work. So it kind of reminded me of that particular duo trio thing. And then because of this, I learned that it's best to have Xyz and or Link monsters with this deck. So I never because I quit before Links and Xyz was a thing. I of course I know fusions. Everyone knows fusions because that was the original one. So now I use Xyz. I know what Xyz are and Links are, and that's all because of this deck. I wanted to learn personally and permanently what they are because of this deck. I didn't care what they were in the anime or the manga. I didn't care. I never cared for all these years until I played this deck. So now I use Xyz and Links with this deck. Singles don't work so well with this deck, but Xyz and Links do. So I was thinking in the end I'll probably make a pendulum deck because it's completely different than what was offered before. But then I see what pendulums can really do, and they do the whole swarming the field thing and into Xyz, into synchros, into Links, and all this other stuff. I'm like, it's too damn much. But at least I'm thinking about it. And that's what this deck did for me. If it wasn't for Eldlich, I wouldn't even be playing Master Duel at all. And the one thing you don't want to do with a game is have less players play. And that's why I despise people on Twitch or on YouTube, whatever, telling people how to beat my deck. If they're too incompetent to do the work themselves to figure out a strategy, that's on them. The reason why I decided to use this deck, Eldlich above anything, I saw, I think maybe someone on YouTube doing something like this one, but it wasn't what he said or what he did. It's what I saw in there, a spark inside of me. I saw that I can use this deck and tweak it to my way, to where it's not so overwhelmingly annoying. The skill drain part of this deck, of course, is annoying to a lot of people. The reason I keep the skill drain where it's at is because people be getting away with bullshit with those nasty effects or whatever. So that needs to be calmed the fuck down. Like you're able to like pop a monster for free, or pop 3 monsters for free, or pop my entire back row for free. Oh no, stop that nonsense. You're doing Exceed Summon, Blink Summon, yada yada yada, and then you Tribute Summon this thing and that thing, and then that goes in the field, and a boom, bam, bam. Just skill drain, just calm the fuck down. Calm down. That's why skill drain's there. Not for me to be a troll, but to calm the fuck down. If I had it my way with this game, and you want me to give it a skill drain, if they limit skill drain to like 1 per deck, I'm not playing the game anymore. You need to limit the amount of summons, normal and special, to just 5 per turn. Having unlimited, where it's like 20 a turn, to like do this and that, and with the effects, that's far too much waiting around. 5 summons, and so make it a good one. Yeah, think carefully and get your 5 summons out per turn, and then we can talk again. Skill drain's there to stop all that switching around nonsense that people and popping this and popping that and then like going to it's there to stop all that nonsense. Calm down, think carefully, and then do your turns. You can still tribute, you can still ritual, you can still special summon, but none of the other nonsense that could potentially like waste time and all this other nonsense. No, just stop that. When Eldlich hits the field, I use a graveyard effect to get on the field, and he has one effect, and it's automatic. I don't have to activate it. So it's nice, simple, and clean, like Yugioh Master says. So that's why I run this deck, to stop all the combos and nonsense going around there that waste like a million turns, like the Punk Kids and the Tri Brigades and the Sky Striker nonsense. It's too damn much. Just calm down, pick a good card, and come to play. Like I enjoy fighting against the Blue Eyes decks and the Dark Magician decks, even though they're very annoying. They're very annoying, but at least their turns are over with real quickly. So that's it. That's why I started to play Eldlich. And people are just really salty because Eldlich happens to be really good. I didn't pick him because he was good. I picked Eldlich because he can stop bullshit. And then I tweaked the way it was to ensure that it happens this way. If I don't get Eldlich or any of his helpers in my hand the first turn, my deck is equipped to have my hand stop whatever you're doing, whether it be Solemn or Torrent to Tribute or whatever. It stops you until I can get the thing around. Maybe I need another Torrential in my deck. Maybe. Alright, clack off.